Good, bad, medium?
Spring is in the air.
Good.
Good? What does that mean, Ernie?
He's doing good.
He's doing good.
He's rocking and rolling. That's what that means.
Let's be a little bit more specific, like what does good mean?
The buyers are pulling the trigger quicker. You find the properties, and more properties are coming on the market, so you have more inventory to deal with.
Nice.
Price decrease on high level.
Good. I agree. You got the email, 19 contracts in yesterday. That's massive for February. 9 in today. That's still a great number. So business is happening. I've told you many times. My 15 and 16 years selling, I put more things under contract in February than any month. If you lead gen properly at the end of the year, did your touches, all the pit-up demand that comes out January 1st, you're on top of it, you're their agent, you look for 2 weeks to a month, and you're writing in February. So all that's happening, okay? Also, I think maybe 19's a massive number for one day. Could be kind of what we talked about. Remember what happened last week temperature-wise? We almost hit 80, right, in February. Again, it's the truth. People buy emotionally. Temperatures cold to warm makes your emotions go crazy. So, we're going to experience that. Yesterday was cold, but we really have kind of 10 to 15 days of really pretty moderate weather here. Highs in the high 50s to 60s. So I think this will continue. I think you're going to see buyers out in force, which is really good. So yeah, I'm very hopeful and positive about the spring. Rates have come down. How far are we down, Randy? We down half a point from?
We're down in the 2s. It's free money. It's madness.
I'm gonna go buy a house right now. Okay. So from the peak in November, December, how are we down? Half, 3/4?
We're down probably a little over half.
Okay, which is really good news. And on top of it, I think we are getting a little bit more supply. Stock markets have semi-corrected from the downs, and again, we're way more tied to the stock market than you realize as far as people having money in their accounts and feeling confident. So all things seem to be very much in place right now for extremely good spring. And we'll probably say this every sales meeting, but again, realize every property is its own analysis, okay? I have people walk in my office and say, they accepted my offer. There were 8 offers, multiple offers, and I got it. So multiple offer situations, and the next person 5 minutes later walks in and says, this is the greatest house ever that should have sold in a day, and we haven't had a showing in 10 days. So depending on price, condition, school system, location, every property is its own analysis. You've got to do that. You got to do it for your clients. That's why they're hiring you. Okay? All right. Investment Club. Many of you starting to participate in that. This company wants you to wealth build. We do not want you 70 years old with a cane on the street selling real estate. So the way to avoid that is to wealth build, meaning build passive income that comes in without you working. To win that game, to achieve financial independence, meaning you have achieved passive income that equals or exceeds your standard of living, you have to, 1, have a plan, and 2, execute that plan, probably for at least a decade. So these are people serious about that. This club's growing every week. We probably have 20, 30 in there now. People that are investors, myself, Chen, Dave, Wynn. Now we have Erica So we're just talking strategies and ideas of how to do this, how to buy right, where to buy, just the game plan. So that is on the 22nd of this month. It's on a Friday. That's from 11 to 12. Really good conversation. I want to read a little, put this up. So, again, we are, at Keller Williams, we should be connoisseur of touches, okay? Our Red Book, which is our Bible, says that we should touch our database 33 times a year, almost 3 times a month. And if you do that properly, you're going to get a lot of leads. Okay, so this is actually, I like just good, either fun or brilliant touches. So this was a week ago, but y'all know Megan's coming. Had a baby, still in big action. So this is what she sent out. So you remember February 2nd? I mean, it's kind of a joke day. I mean, you know, the Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil. But she sent this out. So, well, the groundhog did not see a shadow on Saturday, predicting an early spring for 2019. Though his predictions aren't always accurate, the warmer temperatures we have experienced this week certainly make it feel possible. Likewise, we are starting to see signs of a spring real estate rush here in Atlanta. Nice segue. If you would like more information on the current Atlanta market or detailed insight into upcoming market predictions, give me a call. And remember, I'm always available to do a free market analysis on your home.
Very nice.
I've been good, you know. So, always looking for good touches. Speaking of good touches, a lot of times people give away stuff that's like, versus trash can. Okay, I mean, I have so many of those, what are those cups called, the coffee cups that, you know? Yeti, yeah, I mean, I must have 100 Yeti cups, you know, that they take up space. You always need wine opener. I mean, most events you go to, you lose it, right? So, thank you very much. Got your name on it? I like it. Thank you very much. So, Hope, come on up. Old Republic, again, I'm a big believer in warranties on your property. And Old Republic and Hope do it very well. So tell us what you got here.
Good morning, everybody. And there's a method behind the madness. The reason I gave you a wine opener, because on Valentine's Day, as you're opening your bottle of wine for your partner, your loved one, your friend, you'll see the name Old Republic, and you'll think, I need to order a home warranty. And I'm not encouraging drinking, okay? We have a lot of big, exciting news to announce, but unfortunately I cannot because our new brochures did not come in on time, so I apologize. But effective March 1st, please look for huge changes. For those of you who have already used us, you know we offer great products, but once you find out what we're doing, you will be blown away. So stay tuned, and again, I'm sorry I don't have the new brochure. What I can tell you is if you don't know, we do offer a new construction plan. I have talked to more agents within the past 6 months who, because of the strange market last year, the low inventory, they're now looking to new construction. If you're doing that, please remember this new construction plan. What we do is we offer you 4 years for the low price of $580. That's phenomenal. That's not $580 per year. That's $580 total for 4 years. So think about that, offering that to your client. That is a phenomenal package. That's actually a package that you could afford to pay for, because a lot of agents will actually do that. They'll pay for the warranty for themselves or for their client themselves, and what a great gift to give them at closing. So that does include systems and appliances. That applies to the standard plan that we offer, but again, that's a great thing to present to your client, so keep that in mind, okay? And again, pardon me?
So that would have to be purchased at the time of closing at the new, with the new.
Yes, and what you do is they give you 2 options. You can either choose years 1 through 4, but some builders will actually offer coverage for the first year. So you would pick up at year 2 and select years 2 through 5. So again, that is a phenomenal package. You cannot beat that, and we do beat all of our competitors with that. Lastly, please, you know, again, like I said, I'm sorry I can't share the information, but it is very big news. You will be very, very happy once you find out what it is. Does anybody have a closing coming up? Anybody? Raise your hand high. Okay. If you choose to, Randy, if you choose to use Old Republic, I've got a trade call fee coupon that you can actually hand to your client. It will deduct the first $75 or $100 from the first time they call in a claim. So if you want one, let me know. I only have about 10 left. I'd be happy to give it to you. But again, what a great thing to give to your client at closing. okay? And it's one coupon per client. So see me after the meeting if anybody's interested, okay? And one last thing, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, and Randy had mentioned it, everybody is, I guess their guilty pleasure is watching The Bachelor. So I have one question for one very special person. Brad, will you accept this rose?
Oh, thank you. I'm blushing. Well, you know I've been married 35 years.
I'm married.
Disclosure, disclosure.
My husband does not need to know.
All right, thank you. All right, so, want to acknowledge someone. It's nothing like getting in this business and getting off to a fast start. It's the key to everything. Let's give a big round of applause to Bob Petrino. Contract already in his first month, so great work there. Great work. All right, so a number of us are heading out this Friday to New Orleans. Keller Williams Convention is every February. We call it Family Reunion. Believe it or not, this will be my 4th New Orleans convention. But this one is probably the most significant of any convention in that 4 days from now they are lighting the candle on a major rocket ship that's about to take off. And we've been hearing about it for 2 years, but now it's time. So KW Command is going live for everyone this Saturday. It's all the things that we've seen and heard about it will be life-changing for us and our industry. I mean, there's many, many, many facets of Command. For the bigger producers that you use 2 or 3, you've always had to use 2 or 3 CRMs to get the whole gig done, from lead generating to becoming a client to doing the deal to closing to back follow-up. And there are some agents that pay $2,000 or $3,000 a month for all those CRMs to accomplish that. And it's labor intensive and it's cost intensive. That's all going away. Command will do all of that. So it's going to be one dashboard, one database that you can do anything from. You can do Facebook from there, you can do Twitter, you can do LinkedIn, you can run the whole deal. So all that is starting this Saturday. I mean, there's many, it's been built by agents. This is all agent input. So as an example, I mean, you will now have a feature, you get a contract in your listing, it will analyze the listing for you. So, I mean, or the contract. So, Virginia, you just received a contract on 123 Main Street. We have found that special stip number 3, in your zip code, we only 4% of contracts close with that special stip in there. Okay, just stuff like that. And there's a consumer app just as good where they can ask it questions that will tell them how much return on $1 a renovation would be. It'll tell them when their hot water heater has reached its life expectancy. It will tell them it should be refinanced because it's the numbers are right. So all this is going live, and we just start learning now that we can use it. So,
in case anybody's blood pressure is going up, we will have classes, we'll have training. There will be classes on MyKW to look at. You don't have to turn your business over all this weekend. So there'll be a rollout. I mean, and we will be there to help you. There are some things will be ready instantly. Some things are still in the works. So it's all coming, but just to put that in perspective.
There you go. And yeah, so don't
freak out.
Yeah, your old way you can still do if you want to. So I think we start taking pieces of this until we get there. I don't know if there's 20 different pieces of this or 50, and we determine what's really the most useful and start implementing those. But it's not like you have to be there to continue your business.
Correct.
Okay? So, and we will, we're going to send you this, but I would highly recommend, we're going to send you live links. So Saturday, generally we have a keynote speaker outside the company. This year we don't. It's Gary, and I would watch that. Sunday is the vision speech, and I would watch that, and we'll also send you the link for Monday, which is the state of the company. You know, I could take or leave that, but you might want to watch it. Okay. Okay. So let's look at this little video here, Diane.
Saving time, saving money.
And I think specific target marketing is.
Can you hit that light back there?
Unity Command is going to be an agent one-stop.
Can we go back to the start?
Yeah, you
So that means
Okay, there we go.
workflow automation, task management,
Accountability and tracking,
Mailings, do Facebook ads.
saving time, saving money.
And I think specific target marketing is gonna be a huge game changer.
I'm excited to see what the business looks like with those opportunities being available rather than this.
I think the most surprising thing to me about Command is that it's going to do everything that I've wanted a CRM or a product for a real estate agent to do for the last 10 years.
to be able to have it all rolled up together, to have it as one system.
I think it's gonna save time mostly in our day-to-day activities because we're gonna be able to accomplish a lot more in a short period of time and then move on to what we do best, which is lead generation and selling homes.
I've been tweeting about these things. Everybody has had a lot of great things to say about it.
Even just today, they're changing things on the spot. So I'm able to create a product that really works for me as an agent in real time and have impact on what's going to happen for everybody.
It's huge. It's the fact that we can give feedback and bump them with their questions.
Other companies don't put that kind of emphasis into their agent support.
and it's so important because agents are running it. It's not someone who's not in real estate and doing this on a day-to-day basis. It's really taking it from who's going to be utilizing it.
Okay. So we bring that back to you, but you'll probably get a pretty good piece of it if you tune in to those first two on Saturday, Sunday, and you can watch those obviously from home. All right, Randy, Certainty Home Loans.
Oh my God, he got the name right.
I did.
Randy the Rosy.
Woo! And realize this.
Certainty's in the house.
They won't tell you this, but they are the #1 group in the country. And it's all because of you. So we do, thank you. Did I miss anybody with the roses besides Bob?
We'll do our little special thing later on.
Bob, I really wasn't kidding. Somebody did ask if that was your high school picture on the rotation there for the capper thing. But a couple of things I want to announce, all right? Let's have some fun.
All right.
Let's have some fun. You know what? Work is work. We all work really hard. We all, try to provide for families. Let's have some fun too. Okay. So what Certainty is going to start is we're going to have a Thursday afternoon wine and cheese type thing here in the office.
Okay.
All right. And it's going to be. Do we have a book 4 to 5? I think we have a book 4 to 5, and it's not going to be Randy standing up here trying to sell you his programs or anything. It's going to be one of your own giving you good information on how to increase your business from an agent's perspective. We're just sponsoring it. We're not going to be up talking and doing everything else. So next week, we have very special couple that's going to be doing this for us, and they are going to be at family reunion. So some of the things they talk about, they could be sharing some of their experiences from family reunion, and they're going to be sharing how to provide stellar customer service. And when I say stellar, I don't know of anybody that provides better customer service than Michael and Deb Martino. I really don't. And I say that from experience because they sold me every house that I've lived in.
Oh, wow.
In Georgia. So, they are wonderful people, and they're going to share with you guys a lot of their tips on how to do that, and they're also going to bring back some information from Family Reunion. So, would love to have you guys here. It's going to be a casual type thing, interactive, question and answers, 4 to 5 next Thursday afternoon, the 21st. Please put it on your calendar.
And if I could add something, Randy.
Please, Deb.
When he asked, the only reason we said yes was we find ourselves to be much more interesting and insightful when alcohol is involved. Therefore, we're like, this will not be embarrassing. We are happy to do this.
So I hope as many of you can make it as possible. Again, it's meant to be a fun event, almost like a happy hour, but it's going to be some learning too. Now, we also have a renovation class coming up with optional 3 hours worth of CE. It is, the 3 hours worth of CE, by the way, costs you $20. It's March 4th. What day is that, Tuesday? No. Monday. March 4th, Monday, from 10 to 1, right here. And I know some of you guys attended this seminar last year or 2 years ago. The guy is really good that teaches it. And he is from our corporate office, and this is what he specializes in. He handles and runs our renovation department. So we have 5 different renovation loans. Would love for you guys to come and hear about it. Real quick, I know there's an amendments class or something like that, so I just kind of wanted to give a lender's perspective on that while we were up here before Brad grabs the hook. When you're writing amendments, please remember personal property is not real estate. It's okay if, you know, the washer and dryer are staying with it at no value, but we've seen contracts where it's a big screen TV, the riding lawnmower, the golf cart, you know, the basement full of furniture and things like that. Underwriters don't like that, okay? We're financing real estate, not couches and TVs. So you might be better served putting that on a separate bill of sale, okay?
And ask us if you don't know how.
Zero amount for the value, right?
Anything you guys would like to add on that?
Sure.
Okay, so we don't ever want to see a home inspection. So anything you reference in an amendment that has to do with the inspection, the underwriter's going to want to see it. So we don't want to see anything that has to do with anything that came up with that home inspection. So avoid that. Make sure your numbers are sequential. So if you give us amendment 4, make sure you've already given us 1, 2, and 3. And unless it's fully executed, it's not an amendment in our eyes.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Allison, you want to add anything to that?
Couple, try to avoid amendments late in the game. They happen, they come up, but you may be so busy worrying about getting to the closing table that you forget to get them to us. And if somehow we find out about them, like right before closing, it could send us back to underwriting. So if they are late in the game, get them to us as early as possible, but try to keep all your amendments towards the front half of the closing process. And then lastly, structural and safety items will always require a remedy. So if something comes up in the inspection or the appraiser notices it, we're going to have to go back and make sure it's been corrected if it's a safety issue, okay? So just keep that in mind when writing the amendments, that is addressed early on.
For a 3-foot hole in the roof. You know, there's a gaping hole in the roof and water stains on the roof. You can't say, oh, the seller will give us a credit to fix it after closing. It's going to deteriorate the property. It has to be fixed prior to closing. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Happy Valentine's Day a little early.
Okay, so last week we talked a fair amount about just how do you talk about Atlanta. Okay, it is your product, it is your city. And most buyers at this point, we've had, since fall of 2012, we've had a 7-year up cycle. Okay, one of the longest in memorable time. Okay, so I think it's natural, if you have any economic sense, that you would go, Virginia, I don't know, I need to buy a house, but how can prices go higher? Are we getting a lot of that?
Yep.
Right? So we need to be prepared how to answer that question. And I think the answer, what we're looking for is for people, we need to provide information that calls people to move forward, okay, and be comfortable. And usually that is providing fact, even better, not coming from us, okay? So, we talked about last week, what is, I think, I'm always answering that question. So Brad, we want to buy, but prices are sure they've gone up a ton. How can they go higher? Okay, I think y'all got it. What's the first response?
I give them that graph, your fancy graph that
Right.
Gary does, showing the trend line of.
Correct, but good. I don't have a crystal ball. Okay, I think I need to establish that up front. But if I'm going to answer, my best guess is you're looking good. Here's why. One, we want to determine how long you're going to live there. If you're going to live there a year, okay, that might be a different story. But if you're going to live there any length of time, historically, Atlanta prices have just gone like this, right? And what's great about Atlanta that's not going to change? I mean, this
Job
is
growth.
right. We're number one in jobs. We're low cost of living. Great place to raise a family. Now we're called Hollywood South. Now the tech industry's coming here. Top 4 in millennials wanting to live here, which means we're going to attract the tech companies.
Traffic is ending.
Traffic is light. Best airport in the world, right? On and on and on. So all we're trying to do is give them information that they can make a good decision. This, to me, is one of the best. So, did y'all read? I sent it to you. Gene Rawls interviewed in the Atlanta Business Chronicle. This is the last paragraph. Please forecast the 2019 housing outlook in Metro Atlanta. I love outside people, third party. According to the U.S. Conference of Cutoff report, Metro Atlanta is predicted to become the 6th largest city in the nation by 2046. Okay, that's a long time out. This means, well, no, but I'm just saying, listen to this. This means millions of people will be moving to our area, which is great news for our long-term real estate values. This is actually, I think it's actually from Penske Trucking. You know, people like U-Haul Trucking, they predict this stuff. Penske published the latest moving destination list, and Atlanta was number 1 for the 6th straight year in a row. Wow. All these elements make for a highly optimistic outlook for 2019. So if you were to give them that, I mean, that's pretty convincing to me. Atlanta's the number 1 destination. Supply and demand, people coming. Okay? We're just trying to provide concrete data that make them comfortable moving forward with their decision. Okay? I think that's a really good one. All right, Terry.
Virginia. We are also rated in the top tax-friendly states in the country.
Really?
For state tax.
Tax-friendly? Real estate or
no,
state
overall.
taxes?
Particularly for retirement people. I was reading about old people, but...
You're always disagreeing.
That's one we're not, because we've got a 6% income tax at the state level. If you go to Florida, you don't have that.
Yeah. But they have higher user fees on other things. I mean, they were looking at overall hanging on to your money.
You got to balance it out. But
right.
Some companies, particularly the insurance industry, went heavily into Florida because of favorable taxation.
Tennessee also.
Tennessee and Texas as well. Yeah.
All right, jury's out on that one. We'll
I would say
we'll figure that out.
In my estimation, I'd say we're neutral on that one.
I would agree with you there. All right, Terry. So, how are we going to justify our 6% commission? This is a.
What? 6%. 7% as far as.
No, you can't say it's a number.
Our commission.
Okay, commission.
Okay, there we go. So this is an important skill.
Okay, so here lately, over the last 3 weeks, I've had several of my agents come to me and say that, number one, on the other side of the deal, not anyone in this office, they're looking at receiving 1% or maybe 2% or 2.5 as the selling agent, right? Not as the listing agent, but as the selling agent. I've also had some agents come to me and say, you know, I signed the commission agreement, it said 3% on FMLS, and now the couple of days before closing, they want to change it. Okay, how do you feel about that?
Change the copy.
Yeah,
Keep a copy of the printout.
Okay, so one of the things, I do get up on my soapbox about this because I really feel like we get what we deserve and we get what we focus on, right? So, I feel like if you focus on what you want, you'll receive it. So if you want 7%, if you want 8%, if you want 6%, if you want 4%, you want 3%, that's what you're going to get if that's what you focus on. So, like Virginia said, we don't want to say specific, all right, but some of the ways that you can help a seller to understand what you are getting and the reason that you're getting it. So make a list of all the things necessary to sell or buy a house in your area. So you can list like 100 things out to show what you're worth. Okay. Show pie charts. Okay, we actually, in my KW, there is a pie chart that shows where the commission is going. Okay, that is a great vision to have in your listing presentation if you need it. Explain how much tax you're going to be paying on your commission. Okay, so there's an example. Where'd Brad go? Okay. There's an example, so like if you take $3 and you lay the $3 on the table, and you can say, okay, once you've got the $3, do that, Brad, for me, please.
There we go.
Okay, so if you've got $3, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, a third of this is going to my brokerage. Another third of this is going to the IRS and the Georgia Department of Labor, right? The other third of that, I'm paying for your marketing to get your house sold. Okay? So, how much do you think I'm getting from that? Does that make sense? That's a great visual to show people. Do you want to piggyback on that, any?
Well, I think a lot of Terry used to use this a lot. Does anyone use the bills?
Well, I would suggest using 6 bills, and then you just take 3 right away.
That's a great idea. 6 bills.
Okay, or you can impress them and put $100 bills down.
Too much.
That's all I got. I'm sorry. No, but I mean, so, Mr. Seller, here's the way this works. Okay, we're 3% commission. 1% is going to me. Okay, 1% is going to Uncle Sam. And, excuse me, a third is going to me, a third is going to Uncle Sam, a third is going to marketing. Okay? Not reducing this, I can't reduce this. Where do you think these people that have reduced, where do you think they're going to cut? They're going to cut marketing, right? So if we go back and reiterate what we do, I have professional pictures done, I have a stager, if you do these things, they'll see the value. Okay? RJ? I mean, you
Yeah, I
obviously...
like this, if you do the bills, 6, and take 3 forgiveness for the buyer's agent.
Right, there you go.
Off the top.
Right.
And so now we're with this. And so if there is a discount broker that you're up against, where do you think it's coming from? And you say, they don't do as much marketing. They just don't.
Right.
I mean, that's just overall service.
Right.
Right.
Right. And show your plan. So how often because realize when you go to a listing appointment presentation, the longer you're in the business and the more where you have a lot of opportunities to list, the visual is you're going there to determine if you want to take the listing. Okay? So how difficult are you going to be, Mr. Seller? The condition of your property, where you're going to price it, do I think it will sell? I'm going there to determine if I want it. But realize the second thing is, this is the one time, you're going to be teaming up here once you agree that we're listing it. But for a brief moment, you are on different sides of this tennis net. And this is going to come up every time, this commission conversation, right? And we need to be prepared how to get this solved. So,
the other thing I say...
RJ, I love you. Yeah. I love you, and I know you're great in here, but Katie says she'll do it for 2.5 on that side.
So, all I can say, Brad, is if another person negotiates their money, gives away their money that easily, what do you think they're gonna do with yours?
Yep.
I fight for every single dollar for our sellers.
I think that's a powerful script too. I mean, that should be used every time too. Anyone else, any ideas that get people to agree on the number you want?
Going to their bottom line, I have a strict.
I have a follow-up question. Okay. What about when you're buying and selling? How do you address
That's a good one. If I give them a discount, it's in the listing agreement, and it is always on the second closing.
However, RJ, do you penalize yourself or do you penalize the buyer's agent?
Only
if
myself. I will not
Correct,
touch that
correct.
buyer's agent.
Thank you so much. That's my other point. Do not, if you're gonna take a discount commission, do not penalize the buyer's agent.
So this is called the, repeat client or whatever, but it is, you will get a 0.5%, let's say, on this house, on the second closing. Now, if they're on the same day, I might do it on the listing. But I have had someone call me and say, oops, I found a house, I'm buying it, do I still get the discount?
Or we decided to rent.
Yeah, or we decided to rent. Now, I have a no statute of limitations, so they'll come back, if they are renting for a year, if you want to come back to me, that 0.5% is there, and I can pay some closing costs or something to get it.
And you have that special stipulation in your listing agreement, right?
We do that too, and we calculate that credit based on the higher transaction.
Correct.
Based on the higher transaction?
Yep.
Okay.
But it's paid always on the second.
Okay.
So they're downsizing, it's going to be calculated off the first transaction.
Okay.
Will you share that with us?
I could share that.
Thank you.
What is the conversation though? I'm interested personally in the conversation before you get to the discount. What are you saying to not get to the discount? Like what's the value proposition?
You're saying a buyer and a seller.
Correct. Like what do you if they bring it up, do you automatically agree, or what's the conversation that you're having about why your value should be equal on both sides?
So you have a buyer and a seller, RJ. How do you not cut on either transaction? Do you ever attempt to do that?
I do, but a lot of times, and sometimes they don't ask me for it, but I kind of know I have that, and so if something goes awry in the inspection, I might help or something, because I want to give them something for buying and selling with me. But I don't always do it. It kind of depends on the whole situation.
Yeah, if they ask.
And it is 2 deals versus 1, right? So
It is 2 deals. I mean, 0.5% is what it is that I do. I don't know. I mean, I don't do it on.
I can tell you one way to do it.
Not whole.
First of all, I think the conversation needs to be that you treat all your clients equitably.
Right.
So I don't cut certain deals for certain people. I'm running a business, and this is the way I do it. Now, this is a little different than that, but I have a schedule. I learned this from an agent who is part of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, the Red Book, who Gary Keller actually interviewed. But he has a whole schedule, and one of the other concessions that I put in writing is that if they, on the front end, have a buyer or a friend or family buys their home, I will transact that listing at 1%. Virginia's probably like, stomach's churning over there.
Yeah, you should see her face.
So I've been doing this for 15 years. How many times have I paid that? 0. It doesn't happen. So this is that and the multiple transaction discount, and there may be another thing or two, but I talk about that, and when they ask for it, I say, yes, I can discount the commission under these provisions. And quite frankly, if that ever did occur where I did have to discount at 1%, on that transaction I would be upset. It would not be good. But think of the goodwill it would build, and then you could actually share it with somebody. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen, and if it does, it's so few and far between. I think that client would give you business for the rest of your life. So it hasn't been a problem, and that helps you overcome it when they talk about that. Like, yes, I do have provisions to provide a reduction in the commission if these things occur. Buying another house, a second transaction, et cetera.
Is there a statute of limitations on that, or like ours?
On the second transaction, there is. I mean, it's, I forget how I have it written, but it's basically designed when you're doing, I think I use the word simultaneous transactions.
Okay, right. So another way, go ahead.
I was going to say, we always thank them first for asking the question. You know, thank you so much for asking that, Terry. That is a great question. And if I could follow up with another one, what about discounting our commission is important to you? So what are your goals with that? And then typically they'll say, more often than not, you know, I'm really trying to save every single penny, or I feel like we're really tight with pricing. I'm afraid of X occurring. I've got some heavy-duty work that I'm expecting may come up in the inspection. So it gives you an opportunity to hear what they're saying, and then you need to back it up with, well, let me tell you what we're going to be doing that's going to help you get through that. We're going to negotiate harder. We net more than 2.6% than other people that work in our areas. Whatever your value add is, and that's the time to share it. And I find that when you're comfortable with where you're coming from and what you do, and love, and you always use that script RJ shared about where do you think these other people are cutting it, I think it really helps to add the value.
Absolutely. So showing your value is part of your marketing plan, correct? So what is your standard? Is your standard for your marketing plan just here, or is your standard for your marketing plan up here? So we're better than that, in my opinion. So again, we're going to get what we focus on. So there's a lot of different ways to overcome this objection when people are asking for you to cut their commission. So one of the other ways too is think about the quality, again, that you're going to provide to people. So what type of quality are you providing? A lot of people want quality, right, versus the cheaper thing. So if you can prove to them and show them the reason that you're worth whatever commission that you choose, then you're going to always win that objection. Would you agree? So how many of you have ever actually taken a look at commissions to see how much you're leaving on the table when you start discounting?
As a percentage, you mean?
Correct. Correct. How many do that?
Why don't we talk next week?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we won't be here next week, but we can do it
the week
tomorrow.
after. Okay. We'll continue that. Okay? So again, you need to be prepared for this. And it's a process. I think the first thing from this conversation, you're going to try to prove whether with the bills or whether other people, they're cutting, so how are they going to negotiate for you? That's your first attempt, and hopefully they agree and you're good to go. If we still got we're not there yet, I think bills is a great one. I just want you to know, and again, you can do this or not do it, but if I actually find the buyer, I'm going to, on that side, cut to this amount, which Bill says that doesn't happen very often. He's correct. Okay, maybe that gets them over the hurdle. Okay?
One other thing, and you can also play it as you as the agent, or like the office, and Bob just shared a phenomenal story with us this week, whereas he engaged a stager and contractors. They made some improvements on the property, and it turned out that the seller ended up netting significantly more and had multiple offers. So whether you could say, you know, this is how our company operates, and you show value. I did the same thing with a roof, where Loran and I came in and we were able to get a new roof for a client because of an insurance claim that was totally legitimate. We saved that seller over $12,000 after he paid his deductible. So if you can reference specific case study stories to a seller, and let's say, let me just give you an example why I'm worth it. I just saved, one of my partners in the office just last week saved this one particular client tens of thousands of dollars through my professional input, through the experience and expertise I bring to the transaction. And that also helps mitigate it. People are looking for answers. Oftentimes, they're not going to dispute it if you give them a reason. They're just going to say, oh, okay, and move on. But you just got to give them good ammunition.
There you go. And if all that doesn't work, and we're still down to they're buying and selling,
we walk away.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's every case is different. So if I've walked in the house is primo, it is going to sell, these people are reasonable people and I like them, and they're selling this for $600 and they're buying for $800. I mean, this is a poker game now. This is a poker game, okay? So, they're gonna give it to me for 3 on one side, 2.5 on the other. Add up that's like $30-something thousand. So, how do I want to play this? Even if I feel like they're 80% bluffing, if that's your analysis, that this is going to sell and they're going to buy, do you want to call that bluff? It's up to you. But I like getting paid. But you need to know this going in. This is what you need to be prepared for. You're going to get the commission objection every time, and here, I'm going to show proof, and I still get my full commission. Still not there. I'm going to offer that, which usually won't happen, and then, hey, I might have to do it if I feel like everything else is right. It's your call.
And a lot of that, too, will come from your pre-qualification questions that you ask prior to going to the listing presentation.
Okay, so we're running out of time. Do I have permission, like 10 more minutes? Everyone good? Yes? Yeah. Okay, so bold, there's 22 of us in bold out of this office. This is my 9th bold. Easily the best bold ever. Beth is unbelievable. She's causing stuff to happen in people's lives, causing people to think bigger, realize what they want, and there's actually a lot of people taking action to do that. We did a great exercise last Thursday, which really kind of woke me up again. I don't know how every year I seem to fall asleep on this, but basically Beth is saying first you have to have written goals, okay? It's not going to happen if they're not written, and you can look at them regularly, and they need to be specific. Most of us just go, I want to make more money this year. That's not going to work, okay? We need a number and we need a deadline, okay? She basically said dreams are goals with deadlines, okay? And then we need to figure out how, okay? So if this is what we really want, it's not happening, that's all we're doing all the time is figuring out, I got to do something else. How do I make this happen, okay? So, I want y'all to do this one exercise, okay? It was very powerful to me. So, in bold, that's supposed to be in the middle, actually, okay? So this is financial, and this is personal accomplishments. I should have done this ahead of time. Personal accomplishments. And this is material possessions, okay? And realize this is supposed to be in the center, okay? And we have levels, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you need to rank, they had us rank ourselves on each of these vectors, okay? So on a scale 1 to 5, where are you right now on financial security? Okay? And on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, where are you in personal accomplishments? And then on a scale of 1 to 5, material possessions, where are you? And most people, when they do that, with this being in the center, you have kind of a lopsided, you got like a 2, a 4, it's not equal in your life. And she took us through all 3 of these, so gave us, and we're going to do one. Everyone get out a piece of paper. We're just going to do one of these. Okay, and she did it the best I've ever seen. So, everyone got a piece of paper out?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm going to give you about a minute. And what she had us do, let's just do the material possessions vector today, okay? So don't, if you're faith-based, don't get off on like I'm not material, all that. Everyone has material things they want, okay? Okay? Okay. So, what she had us do, though, was write as fast as you can, okay? So don't think. anything materially that you want, don't stop writing. Don't let your mind go, I don't deserve that, or I can't get that. What do you want? Okay? All right, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Just keep writing. Okay? Go. Lovely. Don't stop writing. Just keep writing. There's nothing you can't have. $40 seconds left. Keep writing. $20 seconds. Just keep writing. Don't stop. Five seconds. Okay. So, what are some of the things you have written down? John wrote them instead. I saw him writing instead. Okay. What do you have written down? Just one thing.
I want a 100-unit apartment complex.
Why?
I want to own it and rent it out.
Good. What else? Anybody? What do you want?
I want a vacation home for my family.
Okay. What else?
New car.
Okay. I mean, we go on and on, right?
Yeah.
What I was so upset with myself in doing this, in that I've done this exercise before, and a lot of these are the same things that I wrote a year ago and 5 years ago. And I really want these things. I do. And why am I forgetting these? Why are these not in front of me all the time? Because if I really want these, you will now create a way to get these. You will create a business. You'll know a number that you need to get these. And now I have to create a business that causes that number, and then I need to create the actions in a business that cause that business to happen. Make sense? And it's still with me. That was last Thursday. I mean, it's just like, I wanted this 5 years ago. I mean, a lot of it's gonna, a lot of things have happened, okay? But it's just like, why do you keep forgetting this? Because if this is in front of me every day and I really want this, I should be out of the bed when the alarm rings in 30 seconds. I want these things. So it was powerful. Okay, we'll play with this a little bit more coming up, but you have to know what you want, and then if it's really what we want, we got to create it, and every day should be purposeful because this is what you really want, and you're moving toward it, right? Okay.
How do you keep it fresh every day?
How do you keep it fresh every day? Well, I think you need to keep it in front of you.
But if you who've been through gold 9 times can't keep it fresh, we need some help. I mean, we need a new idea to keep it, because I got these goals too.
Right.
That dream board.
Thank you, Virginia.
It was there with love.
Well, yes, we're looking for a way to keep it fresh. That was what impacted me, was obviously, I want these things, I've gotten some of these things, but I need a way they stay fresh. I need to figure that out.
It was meant for me, not just
Okay, that's fine.
And do you rank them on the circle? The most important one is the first ring, and the second most important one is the second ring?
Well, actually, what we did after that was, of your list, we went back and said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year goals. So very quickly wrote down every one of these. Just don't even think. Is it a 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5-year goal? And then after that, of all your ones, which is this year, which one's the most important to you? And that's helpful too. I don't know if I've ever done that in the past. Well, let's get one, right, and then go to the next one.
I think you're right. You know, so many times you can have so many things that you want, but
Right.
she really defined it and kept on going 3 layers, so you add one thing, and that's what Gary says in the big, your number one goal of life.
Yeah, maybe that was the secret.
And you know, then this can become your vision board, or can go on your
It
vision
is.
board.
Exactly.
But also,
Exactly.
Brad, I'm not sure, one thing I do is I create an action plan. So I have an action plan for that year,
One,
that
three, five.
month, that day, of what I'm doing every day to get closer to that goal. Or it's useless to have it and look at it every day.
That's right.
That's
I went to a
411 or
vision
135.
board workshop, and they wouldn't let you put what you want if you didn't put stuff to get there.
Right.
So for each stuff that you put on your vision board, you need to put a couple of ideas on how you're gonna achieve that.
Correct. Put that gap trap up there real quick. So this was another chart in there, but I think most people would agree, is that what your life looks like? This is where I am and this is where I desire to be, okay? So sometimes we get close and then all of a sudden we forget. I mean, I don't want to keep doing this. I want to stay up here. And maybe, Virginia, that is the key. How do we keep this fresh in front of us? Maybe it is picking one at a time. But that, you know, if you can do that, if you know what you want, and you continually remember it daily, weekly, monthly, and you're going toward it, that's pretty cool life. Charlie?
Well, I think the 135 exercise is an excellent tool when you have a specific, you know, they've changed it now, they call it the GPS, goals, priorities, and strategies. And I think that has I've put one together for our commercial group that basically defined some of the strategies and said, what are you going to do in that category to try to make things better? And it helped a lot for some of our folks.
Yeah, I agree. 135s are great for any goal and how you're going to get there. All right, let's move on. We're already 10:10. Renee, super quick. You want to go from the back there?
Yeah, just real quick. Hello, Renee Dillon, one of the Organic PC over at Ashford Dunwoody. Lynn and I are teaching a class right after team meeting today, starting at probably 11:30ish now. Contract 102, it is on basically financing contingencies, community association disclosures, seller's disclosure, all of the disclosures and amendments, but not the main purchase and sale agreement. So if you haven't stayed for the class, go ahead and stick around, and we'll be here for about an hour, probably hour and a half today.
Perfect. Gigi?
I want to give a kudos to Paul. We have a very difficult closing a week ago, and he was super excellent before. He got the criminals in between. And yeah, we had a criminal in between. And then we couldn't have done that before without your energy and the way you did it. And we closed in the middle or after the shutdown also. So I'm really happy. My client's very happy, and he did a super good job. And he wants Spanish classes, by the way.
Becky?
I wanted to thank everybody that came out for Red Day last night. We raised over $1,000. We'll have another fundraiser on April 4th right here in the atrium of our office. There'll be a bourbon tasting, a barbecue, tons of fun. And thank you always for your support.
Thank you. We have a great culture. Becky, name everyone real quick on the culture committee. Linda, Ernie,
Felicia,
Ernie,
Rashad,
Apriya,
Beth
Carstellan.
Beth
Carstellan.
Gonna join us.
And Hank, Cindy Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all do a lot of great stuff. Thank you. All right, Listeners Caravans, what do you got?
Don't miss Jessica Schulte's Caravan, Vista Park, 1255 Hopkins Terrace, from 12 to 2:30. Cash and Coffee Caravan.
Sounds
Flyers-
good.
Flyers at the front desk.
Dave?
Got a caravan here in Sandy Springs, 690 Bittersweet Trail, $785 price point, mimosas and cash grab.
Can't beat that.
There you go. Thanks.
Got a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, ranch home in Breckenridge in my neighborhood, southern North DeKalb, between Briarcliff and the Vistas County area. Lives at 699. Hardwoods throughout, wood burning fireplace. Hopefully won't last long. Lakeside High School.
About 26 people have qualified to go to the Atlanta Board of Realtors Top Producer Dinner, and Kevin Probst is getting his Phoenix. If anybody wants to go, I'm trying to see if I can get a group to go with him to celebrate Kevin, and there's quite a number of first-time recipients as well, which is another huge honor. So,
There we go.
contact me, the registration's on Wednesday if you want to get a group together.
Which is tomorrow. There you go.
Yep.
What else?
Rashad has a, caravan, let's see, 950 Gilbert Street Southeast, it's 30316, and it's cash grab bag, and he is really looking for some agents to come, give some feedback on pricing. So,
Where is it?
950 Gilbert Street Southeast, 30316.
Down Ormwood, Grand Park area.
Gotcha.
90
Okay.
days, 11:30 to 2.
Okay. What else you
Show some
got?
love.
Anybody needs water, I'll be filling up Kangen water. If you need it.
There you go, in the kitchen, holy water, it'll heal you, I'm telling you. Yes.
Just one last thing, don't forget, I've got 10 coupons, so stop and see before you leave, okay?
And Jean.
Okay. If anyone's got an investor who's looking for a flip, I'm gonna have one coming up at 2636 Arcadia Street. It's gonna be probably listed around 119, the ARV is around 230. If anyone knows anyone.
Where is it?
Acadia Street, East Point, sorry.
Well, you talk to me.
Okay.
Okay, so, here we go. Remember, we're gonna send you the links, Saturday, Geary Keynote, Sunday, Geary Vision, Monday, State of the Company. Business is out there, okay? You've seen it, so let's go get it. See you now. Have a good one.
I thought it was helpful. That was helpful. See you tomorrow.